Hello all and welcome to another Gavin Edgerman video. It's Art here with day 12 of Video Palooza 2024 with the book review of Dune by Frank Herbert. Yes, the science fiction classic. I reread it from my childhood. This is the first time I believe I've been reviewing it on the channel. If not, then it'll be a book review, but it's a second reading for me from my childhood. It is an excellent book. It is a deep, thought-provoking book. It is, however, a slow-moving book. It could deal with a bit of pacing issue, but it is deep, involved, engrossing, and Frank Herbert paints a great, vibrant picture of Arrakis, the planet known as Dune, the Fremen, the Harkonnen, and the war for the spice melange. It is a good story. It is a quintessential classic story of science fiction, in my opinion. Now, I can't say that for its subsequent sequels, but the first book that lays the foundation, the book known as Dune, is that book. It is that foundational. It is that classic. It does move slow. It takes about 200 pages in book form and about 10 or 11 hours in audiobook form for the Duke Leto Atreides to do what he does, and then things pop off and our main character Paul becomes who our main character Paul becomes. I'm not going to spoil it here. I'm going to tell you that if you haven't read it, it is quintessential. Be forewarned, though, that it does move slow, but once it climbs that curve and it gets on the downspout end, you're good to go and you're good to be, because it's amazing, it's great, and it is top-notch like never before. Top-notch like never again in the series. It's a great story. It's a gut-wrenching story. It is a story of tragedy and triumph, and altogether wonderful world building takes place in Dune. Frank Herbert is a master at world building. He's a master of backlogging things that are just there in the world, that are known in the world, that become easily parsed and laid out to the reader. He's a master at that. It's great for that. Like I said, though, it is a bit slow. It takes a while for it to kick off. So it's not... it is a pure science fiction classic, though, because it, I believe, laid the ground for so many other world-building books. You could argue it laid the ground for, like, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. The Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. Even a little bit of the Hunger Games is laid here in Dune, because trials and tribulations are faced by our protagonist, Paul, and are faced to the nth degree. It is a good story of destiny not being risen to, but being foretold, and then you fulfilling your destiny. It is that kind of book. It is that kind of legendary read, and it is truly amazing. I think that the Harkonnens play a wonderful foil in their own way. I feel that Paul, you see him grow through the lengthy book that is Dune. I did love it in audiobook format because each character in the book got their own voice actor. It was wonderfully done. So you could tie in a voice actor to the character, to each character, and therefore it was easier to keep them separate. If you don't have time to read this classic, now I have it in the Barnes & Noble Classic form, which means I have it in the leather bound with the gold leaf and the sewn in bookmark. I call it the biblical treatment of a science fiction classic, because the only other book that I can think of that has that, besides the Barnes & Noble Classics, is the Bible itself. So that's why I call it the biblical treatment. The biblical treatment. And it is a quintessential book. I think Dune should be taught in schools, high schools and college. I think it should join the literary importance of, like, The Hound of the Baskervilles, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, To Kill a Mockingbird, and things like that, because it is quintessential, a tentpole in science fiction. It is that good. Now, yes, is it slow in the beginning? Yes, but you could say that he's building the world for the books to come, and he's building the stakes for the books to come, and that is a very, very strong argument. However, in this one instance, it's a little bit slow, and you could do with a little bit less world building and more enjoyment had, and more roller coaster riding had. I'm not going to spoil it, but all I'm going to say is that it's an amazing, amazing, amazing book. I will say, for me, it's a read it, own it, love it. I have multiple copies of it. It's one of the books I tend to give away a lot, actually, because I'm like, you've never read Dune? Here's a copy. Go read it. It's yours. And then I always get told, whoa, that was amazing. Once it got started, it was amazing. And I say, yeah, because it's a science fiction classic. It truly, truly is. For me, it's a read it, own it, love it. On my scale, it is a 4 out of 5 on the GoodReads scale, because it's not exactly a level of 5 out of 5 amazing. There are noticeable flaws, and there were many times in my reading at this time that I was like, come on, get to the tentpole parts. This is some of the things that they were giving you are important in later books, but they're not important to the story beholden in Dune. So that's my only beef with it. It is amazing, but let me know in the comments down below if you have read Dune and what you thought of Dune. Do you think it's as a science fiction classic as me, or have you not read it? And I encourage you, if you have not read it, put it on your TBR. Put it on the top of your TBR right now. It is that important. But until next time, this is where I would normally say, you know, I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe to be notified, and ring the bell to be notified when I upload a video. But since we're in the throes of Video Palooza, you know you're getting another video tomorrow, and that video is going to be the review of Apple TV's Franklin. That's going to be day 13. So we're going to have fun with that. But until next time, which is tomorrow, happy reading. I'll see you again soon. And peace.